the mix.
In the mix.
In the mix.
Gina Jordan, here I am, Sundance 2012, and who knew that I'd be in the middle of the Axe Hair Groom Room? See the sign behind us? And
wow.
Wow. I'm sitting here with two tremendous stars of a film that premiered today that's getting a lot of buzz, The Surrogate. It's getting distribution buzz. It's getting Oscar buzz. Yeah, I said it, okay? And I'm sitting here with William H. Macy. You may recognize this handsome man. And John Hawkes. You recognize this handsome man as well. So, gentlemen, congratulations. The film is all the rage. How does it feel?
John will back me up on this. We had a day. I had not seen the film. John had seen a rough cut of it. I was blubbering like a baby, and the lights were coming up, and I thought, oh, good God, give me some time. And then Ben Lewin, who directed the film, hobbled, can we say, up onto the stage. Ben had polio, so he's on crutches.
Yes.
He came up to the stage. The audience stood up and applauded for, am I wrong, 3 minutes. 3 minutes of solid applause.
Had he not stopped them?
Wow.
Oh my God.
All right, so let's tell the people, first of all, the premise of the film is extremely intense. Would you share with us the premise of the film, sir?
I'll do it.
But it's not intense. It's a comedy. It's funny. But go.
It's both. It's got a little of everything.
They're joking right now. It's comedy.
Vaguely. It's based on a guy named Mark O'Brien, a real-life guy who passed away several years ago. He got polio when he was 6 years old. He attended the University of California at Berkeley, got an English degree, was a journalist and a poet, and was invited to write an article about disabled sex, and that began to turn the wheels in his mind to wonder what his possibilities were. He sees a sex therapist. He speaks to his priest, played so wonderfully by Bill, and the sexual therapist refers him to a surrogate, which is a person who helps people with their sexual difficulties, and a relationship forms between the surrogate, played by Helen Hunt, and my character Mark O'Brien.
Absolutely incredible. And what do you guys think about the fact that the story itself is about relationships, right? You're obviously someone who's very good at relationships, and I say that because you're married to Felicity Huffman, beautiful woman, amazing actress, and 14 years later, you've made it in Hollywood. I mean, if Seal and Heidi Klum can't make it, what is the secret to a good marriage?
Marry Felicity Huffman. I don't know. All I know is I'm a nightmare and she's an angel. But you know, our film brings forth another question. I did a film with a guy with a disability a couple of years ago called Door to Door. And so I got involved with the UCP, United Cerebral Palsy. And there are a lot of people with disabilities. A lot of people with disabilities. And they all want two things. They want to be independent. They want a job, they want to pay their own way and live alone. Secondly, they want to meet someone, just like everybody else in the world. And there are these people who are as smart as the three of us, and some of them smarter than us, in these bent-up bodies, and they want a relationship. And it's, I mean, can we say it? It's sort of an icky subject. How do you do it? I mean, sometimes you look at someone and you think, how is it even possible mechanically? But to live your life without having sex, without having a relationship, without knowing a woman or knowing a man, it's not a life lived fully. And what Ben Lewin has done so brilliantly is written this wonderful movie about that. And wait till you see John do this. Oh my God, he will slay you.
How explicit?
Since 2 o'clock.
Really? How explicit does it get in the film? Do they actually show?
Lord.
Do they?
Oh,
It's quite explicit, I would say, and that's an interesting thing about the film. It's kind of an old school movie in an interesting way. The story is
How is it? How so?
well.
boy meets girl.
Agreed, and also it's not afraid of the truth of sentiment, of the truth of pathos. It reminds me of old films, but it does have a modern take, and it's got a nudity. You know, it really does.
I mean, she's naked as a jaybird. There's nothing even though remotely self-conscious about it, and as a result, in the way John plays it and Ben directed it, it's not, you're not, it's so unself-conscious that it puts the question out there in such a lovely way. And at the end of the film, you don't weep for Mark. You weep because you love being human. It's glorious
Does it make
to
you?
be a human.
Does it make us appreciate that we're not in that situation? Are you going to turn around and say no? You don't even think
I don't think that's the point. Do you, Bill? I feel like it's more just like you say, as you put earlier today, what amazing animals we humans are, and it's a story about possibility and hope and a lot of sadness and a lot of humor. Brought expertly.
Recognizing our needs and people who are willing to do those things to, I mean, the way you keep score ultimately in a civilized society is how do we take care of those who need the most help? That's how we keep score.
Mm-hmm.
And
okay,
you walk away from this thing thinking, what a great country, what a great humanity.
This surrogate, does she fall in love with John?
Well, of course she does, as does every single person in the audience. We all fell in love with John.
Is it so? Is it ultimately
Mark?
With Mark,
Him?
yeah. Right. Sorry.
I've been drinking with him since about 6 o'clock. I think he's a weirdo.
They both smell really good for drinking all day. No, I'm serious though. So it's a love story. So it's almost a very unique love story.
Oh, it's totally unique, isn't it?
It's a relationship story for sure, but not in the typical way. It's unusual. It's got a lot of truth, I feel like, a lot of heart, a lot of guts, and that's something that's hard to find.
It also takes this whole thing about sex, and it sort of says, come on, we're all adults here. We all need it. It's a part of being human. Can we take it away from all this tee-hee, let's be embarrassed? And I guess...
I don't know. Can we? You're men, because men need the chase, okay? So, school me, because as far as I know, it's not that easy.
Well, that's the other thing. We haven't talked about this yet, but Helen Hunt's character is so in charge in this film, and it takes the nurturing female character so much farther. I mean, you love women as a result of this. I love women anyway, but after seeing this, you know what I'm saying? She's such a love.
She really is. She really is.
When it comes to love and relationships in your life, any advice for people that are looking for relationships? Are you in a successful relationship, I should say? What's the secret?
Oh, wow. You have a great girlfriend, I guess. I feel a bit like Bill. I feel kind of like lucky to have found someone who will put up with me, who's also just really pretty amazing person and beautiful.
Really? You got to tell us the secret. What's the secret to love? I can't. She's married.
I don't know. I don't know about men. I know we're really complicated and sort of childish in a way. But women, you know what? Have faith, and faith will be given unto you. Just act like you love her more than anybody you've ever seen in your life, and you will get it back in spades. Just pretend. I mean, marriage is really hot and ooey-gooey for about a year or two, and then the rest of it is a relationship, which you got to work on. And
Wait, are you saying a relationship doesn't have the hot and gooey? And hot and gooey, is that passion?
Yeah, hot and gooey is passion, and yes, you can have passion, but you have to work at it. You have to pretend. Just make it up. Just make it up.
Role play?
Role play. Do whatever you need. I mean, but the point is you got to set your sights. You got to say, do we want to keep this hot or do we not? And if you do, then do it. Don't give yourself excuses.
I love that this film has all of the aspects that we're talking about, relationships, love, and also addressing disability. I think that in itself, like you said, these people just want to be independent, live their lives, and I think that I don't know. Do you, when you hear the term Oscar buzz, do you care about that kind of thing?
Well, we actually started that rumor.
We did.
Yeah.
We did. We've been anonymously texting and emailing, talking about ours and Helen's amazing performances, and I don't know. It makes me nervous only because the film is so new. It's been shown to 1,300 people one time. I tend not to believe too much hype surrounding anything, whether I'm part of it or not. Time will tell. I know we had a beautiful day, and it was one of the more extraordinary screenings I've ever attended, and I couldn't be happier to have been part of it.